All right, howdy folks, welcome to Alwa's NES Awakening. My name is Paul. I go by InfiniteNesLives online. This is stream number 47. We are porting Alwa's Awakening to the NES. I think I'm in the progress of finally getting these back on YouTube. And if you're watching this on YouTube, out of fact, there's links in the description to recaps the end and possibly other interesting moments. So you don't have to watch the whole thing to find what's going on. So last stream, we had a bit of a stumbling block. I was wanting to get auto mapping working with tiled, tinker around with a little bit. Well, we didn't really know what we wanted to do. We're gonna think about converting the output of tiled. Let's see, let's go ahead and open to a format, multi-room format. Where? Oh, it's in here. So this is what we have right now. Our NES ROM world map format supports having, abstract structured rooms, and yeah, I play with the idea of converting the TMX files directly. I'm not going to worry about that right now. We'll figure out the smoothest process. But what I do want to do is, so last time we started working on more, what I think is going to be close to final tile set. And if we better define our tile sets, then let's get the world map up. Open with. Anyway, here's our world map graphic that we've got. I don't know what I was going to say, but this is what we're going for. We have our different tile sets, right? So there might be, Forsaken Valley actually has quite a few tile sets. Hey, Coolest Nerd, how we doing? Thanks for stopping by. So I think we have a reasonable chance at defining these tile sets. Now we might have a tile set for the indoors, which has books and stuff of this nature. Outdoors, like lower, might have these trees, darker clouds, and then like an outdoors upper have these lighter clouds, lighter mountains, and then maybe some sort of, we'll see how far we can, but maybe some of these parts of the roofs and buildings and stuff, maybe some of that can fit in this currently unallocated space we have for our tile set. But yeah, we're getting closer to what I think we can be our final tile set, or at least for this one. Doing pretty well. Trying to iron some collision code. Oh, that's always fun. We spent a fair amount of time on that stuff. Our collision map is a little interesting in that, so the tiled output. We don't actually use meta tiles. We allow unique tiles in our screen format, but the tile that's in the top left corner, where that's at in the tile set, actually impacts our collision detection. Thank you. That's not actually mine, though. I can't take credit. This is, I think he goes by Pixel Barn. Alexander on the Eden Pixels team. So our collision detection, this bottom 2 rows of tiles, if the tile comes from that location, then that causes damage. So if the top left tile in our collision grid is 16 by 16 pixels, which is the same as attribute tables, but so the top left tile number is what drives the generation of the collision map. So we have these thresholds. The bottom 2 lines cause damage. Somewhere in here, we'll draw the final line for what's blocking. These are below this line is blocking, and then above this line is passable. And the top row of tiles is special for like ladders and wells and stuff like that. And then tile 0 is actually more specialer. It's the top of ladders, because that's a special case that acts different. You can stand on top of it, and so it's blocking in the downward direction only. Anyway, I hesitate to start drawing all these more than generic screens, because if we move this tile set around, we only have 256 tiles, so we have to be a little bit frugal with our tile usage. And if things move around, I don't want to break everything in tiled. And so off stream, I got learned a little bit on tiled. I think I show you. This is a basic. This is one Michael sent me. No, that's not. Well, I think I need to unload these worlds. There it is. So this is the effectively this is the tile set that he's using to draw this room. So I haven't really watched other streams. Well, yeah, I can give you to some degree. I can show you our current build at least. Right now, we are using, it's kind of like Mapper 11, but with CHR RAM. So there's 32 KB banks of program. There we go. And hey, D-Rocks, how we doing? So this is what we got set up right now. We have a level right now that is 9 rooms by 9 rooms, and we have enemies spawning. So if we go down, this is room number 1. That was room 0. This has 1 enemy. We can kill enemies. We can go down to room 2. There's 2 enemies in here. And so we most recently working on the room data structure. Yeah, I shouldn't have been able to do that, but whatever. Anyway, so these enemies are in a data structure that we created that we tried to keep condensed to some degree. But we've got 4 weighted rooms, so here we're back in room 0 again. Oh, we can go over here. The map supports anything. We just happen to make 9 dummy rooms to so yeah, that's the complete game. Oh yeah, I was gonna show you Alwa, but Steam needs to update itself before you can play this game. Hasn't been patched in months, but whatever. Yeah, log in Steam. Oh my gosh, this is like, I don't even know if I know my password. Nope. More time. Yeah. Well, so this is the maybe one day with our online Nintendo cartridge, huh? No, I don't really want to associate myself with Steam. I mean, Steam has its place, but from a user standpoint, it can be annoying. Hey, Benji. What keyboard? Oh, my keyboard. It's a. I can kind of show it to you if I should move my camera down here. It's a bamboo Amazon special. Nothing really. It's just what I happen to have. So some clarification maybe. So Alwa's Awakening is a completed game by Eldon Pixels guys. It's been released for 3 years now, 2 years. I don't remember exactly. I might keep. This is what we're going for, though. This is the completed game. 16:9 aspect ratio, which we of course can't do. But yeah, so this is the end goal. This is me wanting to make an NES game without designing and pixel art and music, and the soundtrack is by Robert Crease. It's actually composed for the NES 2A03. So that's the end goal, and this is kind of what we have so far. I want to start looking more like this, and hopefully get to the point to where we can more easily convert our rooms. So draw our rooms, have tile, leverage the power of tile to do these things. So this is basically what we have right now. Less Shovel Knight and more widescreen NES game. Well, and Shovel Knight's widescreen too, but it's a Metroidvania, I guess you'd call it. As it's less of a platform, more of a Metroidvania compared to Shovel Knight. But it's a lot closer to the NES constraints than, like, there's nothing really on this screen that is not renderable with a NES for the most part. It really pushes the limits. Less like Shovel Knight in the sense of being considered. Yeah, it's not as complex as Shovel Knight. It's a lot more within the scope of the NES abilities, and I've always wanted to convert Shovel Knight, but it's like it really pushes past the limits of the NES. Not that you couldn't do a Shovel Knight port to the NES justice, but like where you draw that line is a difficult choice to make. Whereas this is a lot closer within the scope, so that's kind of part of the reason that I enjoyed the game. It was actually originally meant to be for the NES, but the Eldon Pixels guys the one, I think they had one person who was interested in helping them program for the NES, and they lost them on the team or whatever, and so they just released it for modern platforms. But they use tiled, and I'm in cahoots with those guys, working on some of this tiled stuff right now. So here, these are really the only, like, Hearts Bright Shovel Knight is a lot of level design, relies on widescreen. Yeah. But to some degree, like, could it be, yeah, like, some design decisions on making that conversion. And there's some of that here, but part of me says that, like, Shovel Knight could still be done. I mean, Shovel Knight does more active scrolling, like, but maybe some differences in camera work. I think it'd be possible, but, you know, I never actually really tried. I do have a demo ROM, but it's more of a slideshow, not really level play. But anyway, so these are really the only, like, 4 tiles that we have. Blocking, these blue, blocking, causing damage, red, and then we have ladders and tops of ladders. Now, this is the automap TMX file, and you've got these different layers. So you have to have regions, which is basically, there needs to be spaces between each item. So just looking at this one now, what the actual tile is here doesn't matter. It just has to be something here for this region layer. But the input, right? So auto mapping is like a glorified search and replace. So it looks for the input and replaces it with the output. So it looks for blue up arrow thingies and it replaces it with these. Looks for these, right? So it looks for top of ladder and replace it with this guy. NXP crossover series has MCUs with CPUs around 500 to 600 megahertz. Yeah, there you go. I'm partial to the STM32 cores. I am working on a cartridge. This guy here. You can't. My green screen is not the. Here, I'll put it down here. So this guy. This could potentially be my Shovel Knight cartridge someday, but this one only has one ROM and one RAM, and it actually dual port time shares these 2 memories with both the PPU and the CPU. So you wouldn't be limited to VBlank. Yeah, 400s, 5 volt tolerant out of the box. Yeah, that's a pretty nice feature out of those. This one, I'm partial to the cheap ones. Push them to the limit to what they can't do, and then upgrade from there. That's kind of a nice thing. And NXP might do that too. I'm just last time I checked, NXP didn't have quite the offerings on the low range where I try to stay to start. But yeah, this guy, you could have, I've got plans for so it'd be a Cortex M0 running at like, that one runs at 64 megahertz, the G0 series. But that microcontroller could also have access to these memories, / you could do a lot of compute inside the microcontroller if you wanted. But anyway, yeah, maybe someday. So anyway, this is our tile set, auto map rules, and these wordings are very, and the names. This one thing that I realized. So this map that's drawn is automap, right? So the M has to be input and then an underscore. And you can have like multiple different inputs, but like 1, 2, 3, same with output. But anyway, so automap, right? So it goes to this layer spelled exactly after the underscore automap. And then output, and this is the name of the layer that it outputs the data to, automap / levels, what this happens to be. Doing things recently in Verilog on Friday streams with this guy. This is ESP8266. I got a small 32 macro cell CPLD there. We do a little bit of Verilog there. I'm a Verilog guy. Just that's what I picked up in school, and it's C-like, so I like it. Ultimately, there's no real, I mean, as far as I know, significant benefit one or the other, whichever you're comfortable with. Yeah, I got my bachelor's in electrical engineering with a minor in computer science. I also have nuclear engineering technology from my Navy days. So nuclear electronics, computer scientist, engineer. If we hit Control M, boom. So it generated this AM level. We can take these guys. Oh, that's a bad spot. Oh, I shouldn't have drawn like that. It's gonna get mad. Well, this probably won't get mad about it. Anyway. So that being with sophomore year now for electrical engineering. I think it's Control A. Map. Auto map. Do I? Yeah, nice. Yeah, I went to Oregon State. Why is this all highlighted like that? I don't get that. What is going on? It did one of them. Map. Automap, Shift M. How are these maps converted? So we have, Control M. We have the tiled, right as it is right now. Tiled outputs to, or you can output to Lua, and there we go. I enjoy Lua. Familiar with it, so that's one of the things we do is we output to export as. So here's some examples that we have to export. Streamlabs keep doing that. Anyway, output to these Lua formats, and then we created a script. I don't know if we're gonna get any actual conversions done today, but we have a Lua script that it basically just it outputs these tile layers into Lua tables, And the tile number itself, right, tile 0 through tile 255, that is the name table. The tile number is what basically gives us our name table data, the screen. And then here you can see CHR viewer. So this is the tile set, which we tiled uses the tile set as an input and then outputs basically the name table data, but it's not in the format that we want. So we convert that to a binary format for the NES. And we might get into one thing that I forget who shared this with us, but Tiled can support Python scripts for outporting in the format that you want. I'm not 100% sure that that'll be the way to go. But the other thing that we have to do is we have to generate the attribute tables, which is the color data. And the way that we do that is we modify the tile set and tiled to have palettes associated with it. So each tile has a palette associated with it. And then that is also output into Lua, which you can generate the attribute table from. Seen Terra Lang. No. Language? Yeah. I'm semi-familiar with Python. I used it, and I saw somebody complaining about it online the other day, and I kind of agree with it as like part of the problem with Python is like having to have it installed and like all these compatibilities between versions and stuff. Like it's a scripting language, but it's the environment that it runs in is like it's heavily dependent. Whereas the thing I love about Lua is that the interpreter, the Lua interpreter, you can add it into any. I use it in my INL retro. This guy. So the not the hardware, but the host side of that's running the scripts to dump cartridges and program cards. I use Lua because I can easily include. I was going to write my own script parser and stuff, and realized I was dumb. Find something else. That's when I started to get familiar with Lua, and so I just added Lua abilities to my software. Relatively lightweight, easy to do, and I completely control the version of Lua or whatever that my software is running. So it's contained, embedded in meta programmed. Oh, so it's a low-level counterpart to Lua. So it's compiled. But unlike C, it's designed from the beginning to be meta programmed from Lua. What does that even mean? Meta programmed from Lua. Yeah. I've never really looked into MicroPython and stuff. Part of the thing is like the libraries and the files that are usually provided with microcontrollers are not micro. I mean, not that there's like ones out there, but I enjoy C, especially for embedded stuff. The design of Terra comes from the realization that C, C++ is really composed of multiple languages. What? Maybe C++, but how is C composed of multiple languages? It has a core language of operator control flow function calls, but surrounding is meta language composed of mixed features such as preprocessor. Oh, okay, I guess. I never thought about it that way. Templates long and return complete. I'm curious about this. My main question is like, so it feels like a cross between Lua and C. Main thing being that it's compiled. Part of it is like, that's like one of the major benefits of Lua, I feel like, is that it's not compiled. But in a situation where you wanted a compiled language, I guess maybe I have a hard time imagining a practical application where personally I would want it. It means you can alter Terra features within the language. Oh, that's what meta programmed means. It's programmed by itself, so it's going to turn into Terminator. I can kind of follow along with this, but I guess, like, when would I choose this over something? I guess when you want a compiled language, which I can see wanting, but I have a hard time. When does one want? I guess it's probably better if you ran into a situation where your Lua was being impacted by performance, then this would be, that's what it sounds like. I don't know. It's interesting. I didn't know that was the thing. Thanks for sharing that. So, yeah. So this auto mapping, and this is kind of what I'm thinking. We'll consider spending time on today. Oh, thanks for the follow, Benji. Oh, well, here's what we have right now, right? And the way we have this set up, this Forsaken Valley, is there's no auto mapping that's going on here. I would like to have it going on, but right now it's not. We have separate TMX files for each room, which is not like, normally you would not do that with, you'd use separate TMX files like per like level or something. But because I may change the tile set from one room to another, that's kind of what pushes me down the path of having a separate TMX file per room. But then the other thing is if we use the auto tiling, from what I understand, you've got to have here's the example that we're looking at. So there's a rules.txt. Inside this rules.txt, you put the TMX file that you want to use for auto mapping. So this is, the associations are pretty manual. Here it's kind of like the world map JSON file, whatever it is you have to write. So the TMX file and the rules text file have to be in the same folder. So when you're opening this file, when you do auto mapping, it looks for this file in the same folder. And the way we have this Forsaken Valley set up, we've got all of these different TMX files in the same folder. So then they would all have to use the same rules, or you'd have to like manually edit. There's no way to like I do wish there was a way for a TMX file to say, oh, here's the automap that I'm using, and then that would like get rid of this problem. But it appears this is the only way to do it. I haven't actually looked though. I'll close this. And let's shut down messing a little bit here. So one thing that I'm wondering is, can we create a world map that uses separate folders for each TMX file? So instead of having all these TMX files in the one folder, we'd have a separate folder, and TMX files would be in there, as would their automap. So that's what I want to do, or try to figure out here. So let's multiple folder test. Working on it. What are you working on? Yeah, okay. Close this. Steam. I'm gonna get my music going in here. I'll let you pick your own music. That way I can listen to what I want. Royalty free. And you probably don't all like my music. And maybe you're listening to other streamers all at the same time. The music gets loud and annoying. So let's see. I want to copy over let's copy over our world file. Let's edit this guy. So this is what our world file looks like. I wonder if this location can be a folder, if I can embed this TMX file inside a folder. That's really what we want to be able to do. So let's do this. Let's create a folder and just call it x0, y0. Inside there, we'll put our room x0, y0. It's not chiptune. But see, you can pick your own. I do enjoy chiptune. I'm too lazy to organize my own music, so I used to use Pandora for the longest time and paid for it to not get the ads. But I kept getting the same music over and over again. So I switched to Spotify. It's easier for me to get variety with less work. So I'm hoping we can go well, I guess to some degree we wouldn't have to contain. Yeah, it's a lot of work. Okay, so here's my thought. If we just change this so that the folder is X value, Y value, and then I don't know how to do a separate folder. So this is I wonder if you would. So let's try that. I don't know if that's right. Let's close this, discard, close this, discard. Open file. Okay, it doesn't know where anything is, but whatever. Map, unload that world. Map, load world. Oh, I guess we need multiples to even. It didn't puke on me. It didn't seem to work though. Nor. Let's do some Google. Really what I want to know is so here's pattern matching. These JSON what if the slash has to go the other way? What's the deal? Let's just copy over those files that it wants. So it wants Forsaken Valley bitmap. Probably wants these too. Sky TSX file. We'll just do this one. I don't know. Okay. I don't see my room at all, though. Map. Oh, wait, there it is. Map. Load world. So when I load that, it breaks, it disappears. So it appears to have found it. Well, but it's not finding the other room. How do you... Do we just... Oh, maybe we just do... Maybe we literally... We're not actually doing an escape. Unload the world. Load the world. Does not work. I guess really what we want to... Because we want to match a backslash. Maybe we just do dot matches any character. Because see here, it's escaping. It's looking for an actual dot. So it finds one when I do that. But even when I do that, map, load world, I don't think it's actually working. Load world. Yeah, so it's definitely not finding ROM. I don't really know what I'm doing. Maybe I'll just skip over this for now. Why is there a double backslash here? That's what I don't get. Oh. You can figure it out, Paul. Come on. So let's put our expression in here. Let's try this tester. Maybe we can figure it out from here. So test string room xo yo dot tmx. This is what we had. This doesn't seem to no match. See, why did they? Oh. Okay, so it wants to use the /d. Well, see, this worked. This tester doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, what we actually want is the /d for digit, and so you have to match. Why is that not listed in here? This is I guess it doesn't tell you the escape character, but I don't trust this tester either, because why is it not? Doesn't work. So if I want to find, let's try this. Let's just put it, let's try to find it in a folder that preempts it. So this, if we have a folder called R0, and then this is, it should look for that thing. I need to turn Dropbox off. But see, I need to, because the folder name has to be unique. So that's, I'm not going to be able to have it find other. But if my oh, so do I just, I want to match the actual, if I want to match the actual backslash, then I just want a backslash. But this, am I not? Let's try that. I feel like we tried that, but no. You're saying double backslash? Part of me wonders if it doesn't like having multiple TMX files with the same name. But see, how is this backslash R no different than backslash D? Like we put the backslash because of what you want is backslash D. But I don't, what I want, I do, it just doesn't make sense. Why is it so hard? Oh my gosh. Let's try this tester again. Okay, room matches room. Okay. Room x0, y0. Room x0, y0 matches tmx. .tmx match. So why? See, this doesn't seem to follow. Like, why is the... This is what we have initially. But so let's change this. So it should... So star, what's star? Matches 0 or more repetitions of the preceding regular expression. So a series of regular expressions into a singular regular expression. So we want to match something see this tester this is what we want is a /d. Now you have to escape. I think it has something to do with the file nameness. Why am I so dumb? Now, what if it was like... See, this looks for a carriage return character. So it would seem that this test matches, but in my actual expression, anytime I want a backslash, I have to do a double. The first is taken as x, and the second is taken as y. These are then multiplied by that. So I think if we have again in here x0, y0, we should be able to include in here x Oh, I missed the asterisk here, or the star. But do this again. X something, and map tiled should ignore this. Zero, Y0. Okay, so that matches. If it needs to be a /, then it should just be able to be that. I think maybe it should be a /. Maybe, and I never tried that. So, well, no, anyway. See, Tiled wanted me to put a double / in there. There's 2 layers here. The JSON string escaped expansion and the regular expression parsing. Oh. Okay. So in that case, the thing I don't get is why these 2 needed to be here, though. But I guess we needed to escape the period. We needed to escape the regular. We don't want to. See, this matches any dot, which is not actually what we wanted. We want to actually match the dot. You're back. Good. Maybe we can help us figure this out. Okay, but I think Benji's got it here. So this matches a dot. So this is effectively my regular expression. I kind of like, I think Tiled would be okay with this having extra expression matching. So then I'll be able to have rooms have different names. But as far as the world creation is concerned, it just uses the first ones. Now, as far as this... Well, it's not a bad plan. So, hey, Parker Engines, how we doing, man? Thanks for the follow. We're banging our head on the table with regular expressions here. So, I think this is basically what we want, but we have to escape all of the escapes. And I'm not sure whether it wants... see, but you only have 2, Benji. We tried that, but part of the thing is like, I don't really know. So I'm with you. Well, but this would disagree with you. Say it's /, right? So we need to match escapeception. Yes. We need to match the /. Although to some degree, I feel like if we don't know which it is, shouldn't we be able to matches any character except... If I don't know if it's a / or /, can I, is there something that I can just do that's anything? Dot. I think that's why you can't do it. Anyway, so if we want to match the /, right, we have to escape it. So then we would need, but we need to escape the escape. So it would be 3. I think this is what we want, but then we have to add here's the old one. Come on. Now we need to escape the escapes because it's in a string. That's Minnesota for string for you. Okay, I think like that. So we can have folders. So in folder X0, Y0, we have a file. And it really shouldn't matter what that's called, but I name it that so that I can make sense of it in tiled. Oh. Frame rate seemed good for you guys. What you call it? Streamlabs is yelling at me, but I think it might have been I had Dropbox running earlier. Let me know if you're seeing problems with the stream. So hopefully now our streaming is working. I cut the bitrate down and the resolution. So we were trying to, failing horribly at tiled support for TMX files inside. Unload this. If we can't get it, then I'm just gonna, where is it? Here we go. Yeah. 720 is not bad. Better than stuttering. Oh, my Dropbox. Thanks to Dropbox. Anyway. It looks like we're doing better now. Maybe I could be faster, but I'm not going to worry too much. I think that should match a backslash in the file name. Use 3 backslashes to match 1. Benji said 2. That apparently wasn't working either. Quadruple. We try. Let's try loading it again. Load world. Let me open. I guess that's one thing. Let's locate these files for it. Each pair will turn into a single one, and then the resulting double will be properly escaped. Oh, 4 of them quadruple. Okay. Let's try that. Just locate this file for them quick. Oh, we copied it. Anyway. 4 of them. Unload that. You don't want to put the //d of the folder names inside the parentheses. Oh. What? I'm going to try to load this one. No. Are you... Well, and I was just going ahead and having that be... I was having the folder name be the room name. But I was wondering if Tile didn't like having... I was changing it to just folder x0, y0, and then I had just room.tmx, but then I was like, well, maybe Tile doesn't like having a bunch of TMX files with the same name. Well, and I was trying it without it. Well, let's just go ahead. Let's just go back to what we had. Because it's the Tile documentation says that it just uses the first two. The first is taken as the X and the second is the Y. And so I just figured that extras were just unused. But it's annoying that, like, here's what I currently have. My clipboard. But here's what I'm matching the folder name X number underscore Y number. And here's 4 backslashes to try to match one of them. Well, part of me is like, should it be /? I don't know. Windows is dumb. Oh, I don't need the asterisk. Well, and part of it is like that part of the expression was working, even if I. But if I think I do need the asterisk, though, don't I? Because I want 1 or more, right? And if I have a double digit, matches 0 or more. I mean, I could have a plus. I guess maybe it would still be fine. But I don't think that's why my expression's not working, though. So room.tmx. Yeah. And see, if I type certain stuff, it like completely disappears. So if I have 3 of them, it comes back up again. What if we just put none? Map, load world. I don't know. I can't sit here and do this all day. To hell with it. So that doesn't work. I think it's going to be a problem when it comes to auto mapping, because to make a world work, apparently, unload this world map, load world. Where is it? Oh, did we cut it? I think we accidentally cut it. Oh, and we broke it. So the original is just room underscore there. That works fine. Room 0 can't find. I guess we accidentally cut it. There it is. Whoops. Oh. Yeah. Anyway. So I'm glad I'm not the only one that feels that way. Here's the biggest problem. You're making me feel better, Deedle. I mean, if that's what you feel like doing with your time. Here's the annoyance is that the automap, I want to make use of automap, and auto mapping, you associate automap files by putting the location. So you have a rules.txt. I have this example here. So you have a rules.txt file, which is just a text file. This is how you associate automap rules. So you create automaps in a TMX file, and in this file you put a path to where the automap is, right? But if I have room 0, x0, y0, and 0, 1, x0, y1, and if those TMX files are in the same file, then I can't have a world with multiple TMX files, and then those TMX files use their own auto mapping. Yeah, the real devs write maps in hex. Yes, they did. Hex is a drug. Yeah, they write it on hex. So there's like it seems to me like yes, I realize I'm a special case of tiled in that like I'm making rooms use their own TMX file. I get that most people would not want to do that in modern systems. But it doesn't seem that crazy to me that you would have a project world with multiple TMX files for different levels. And that those levels you would want to use different automap files. But the only way to associate an automap is with this text file. So the only like way around this, it seems, is to, whenever you're auto mapping in a room with a tile set, you go change the rules. I could have like 5 of them, but just like rules, this tile set, that tile set, whatever. And then when I'm actively working on that room, I go manually change the file name. So, whatever. Now, I want to get our default map here though. Using auto mapping. I kind of just want to start from scratch. But the best way to start from scratch is just new files and not copy pasting, but my music go. No. No, no, no. All right. So anyway, maybe that's a question we can push to Bjorn. World files associating. Because if you just had a world file that could say, this level is in this folder, like that also seems like a useful thing. Segregating levels of a world map into different directories, different folders. So maybe my request isn't so crazy. What? Unload world. Okay, so here's our world. Let's no. So we can hit Control M. That maps. Here's our auto mapper. Here's our I want So I want multiple. I guess the nice thing about this is the tile set. This is the tile set that I'd draw the world in. I can add to this or change it how I want. But then my file associations with tile sets are only in the auto mapping. Let's get this working with multiple rooms how we want before we get into the auto mapping nonsense. So we'll just do, well, really I want to have the blank one. This is very much chicken egg situation. Let's start with our very generic auto map tile set. And this is effectively just some PNG, convert, whatever. So I'm going to make I guess. Well, I'm doing 16 by 16. Just because that's our attribute. And collision grid. But that doesn't have to be. There's got to be a better way to do this, but I suppose I could do a smaller version and copy paste it. But not terrible. So this is going to be like my default background. I think what we actually need is a white or a matches anything to do some of pixel art lifestyle. That's right. Nope. So I'll be able to use this for my regions for auto mapping, but I won't actually use it as a tile. Save it as auto map. Yeah. Interested in vintage computer games as well, or just not as much? I mean, I do think the Commodore 64 is cool and stuff, but like I don't have the same history with that stuff. And so it doesn't excite me as much. Not that I don't think it's cool, to some degree. You can only be so excited about so much stuff. Yeah. I do enjoy like the engineering aspect of like basic glorious Sid, yes. The engineering aspect of computers in general on all levels. But as far as like systems that I like to build stuff for, it's retro gaming consoles. All right, now new tile set. How do we like this tile set is this map is being used. I want to straight up use a different one, but it's like it's gonna get mad at me. I guess really what I need to do is export this as a PNG, export to this, replace it. Yeah, just do the thing, GIMP, and we'll Why are there like, okay. I don't know why they're, anyways, there's nothing here. This is just black. Super excited for something you've been working on. Bit of secret, but let's just say I'm working on enhancement to Commodore 64, Commodore CC65. Interesting. You've got my attention, Tito. Looking forward to whatever that turns out to be. Okay, so let's save this TMX file. Now we want an image layer. We want our image. We got to copy it from one of these guys. Now I wanted to change this file name. Oh, we need to set the transparent color as white. And then we can set this opacity down a little. All right. So now we can see our collision grid. Now the now this, so this is the auto map. This is where we actually draw stuff. This is where we'll draw things like this that'll get mapped to other items. Now the auto map itself, we could set it to like, I don't like this AM/level, but we could just call it 6502 LLVM backend. People always throw around that word and I never really understand it. Learn Electron apps on your I don't really get what LLVM, like I'm not really a target independent, modern source and target independent optimizer. I don't really know it. Yeah, but like I don't understand enough of it to imagine how it would work well on the NES, but I need to stop doing this. I want this to be black. Okay. Delete this layer. Remove layer. So we have our auto map, we have our grid, And let's go ahead and open our automap. So input automap, output NES name table. Okay, I'll check it out. I assume this is this something you want me to open up right now? Or you're suggesting I do? Or is this a secret for me to look at later? So let's see. So I think this will still work because, oh, we got to fix this. I can. Okay, I just want to make sure that that you're cool with that before I do. So what do we got here? It looks a lot like C. So, but well, in CC60, so what? So CC60, I mean, it supports C already. So, oh. So these C math functions, you have your own math library. Yeah, it doesn't support floats. So you're, but are you using CC65? I guess that's part where I'm like, I mean, sure, like people would use this, but are you planning on using it? Okay. Oh, so that is the, but I guess I'm like, are you putting up with all the other nonsense of CC65 as far as the function stack? And are you completely overhauling CC65 to make it better? Wait, yes. I guess I asked too many questions to know which one you're answering yes to. Adding full float support. It's cool stuff, man. Okay. So this is my region. Now all this actually matters is where the matches are being made. Input. Oh, I don't have this visible. Got lots of questions on where you're going with that, but I guess it's a little difficult to. cover over stream. We'll chat about it later. Okay, so now here's the Forsaken Valley sky. I want a new tile set. Embed in map. Image. Did we output? Export. Okay, so we have a bitmap. Copy that. Now we'll put this so we want it here, but yeah, let's put it there. Now we need custom properties. Palette, and I think it has to be an int. I forget. Let's go look at our old one. Open. My music shut off. TSX, where did you go? Here we go. There's nothing there. So green was palette 0. All of these we need a So they're all 0. And then we set gray to 1. We set those all to 1. This is where our attribute data comes from. And then brown dirt is these are 2. I suppose these are as well. I don't know exactly, but and then the sky was 3. I don't know about these guys. Anyway, we got something. So save this TSX file. And here is our outside. I want to trash this. Yes. Automap. Okay, this is our what we want. And here's our outside. So we want the output for this automap to go to outside. So this gets mapped to here. Well, that's not what I... Oh. So this will be the top ladder. It's got the little bent one with the special case using tile 0. And then this will just turn into a block. And this will just turn into a vine. So save this. Now save this. Now in the automap, we only draw using this one, this automap. Delete this. So we just have 2 tile sets. We have the tile set that we draw with, and then we have the tile set that gets automatically mapped to. So when we do that, then we do Control M, boom. Okay. Oh, but really I should have this as 2 separate ones. In here. Ladders and stuff, that's right. Alright. So we'll have this top one. Why is it not drawing the color I want? I was probably picking from the wrong spot. I want to pick there. I have a floating layer or something. I don't want it to be active no more. Come on, GIMP. What are you doing to me? There we go. Alright, this color. There we go. So to some degree, we're drawing meta tiles in the automap. Save, export as. But we kind of broke our automap. So our input I want to look like that, and then our output. Okay, so that didn't work. Save. Automap. There we go. So when we draw, so this tile set is actually the grid width in this is 16. Why did that grid 16 enter 16 enter save? I don't understand why that doesn't stick. Edit this. Okay, it is set. But this is what I don't get about this stuff like this that confuses me so about tiled. I mean, I guess I should just leave it as is, but like what? Anyway. So this works, but see, what we should be able to do is have a if you look at this tile set down here, if there's a right edge, it should use these blocks, and if there's a left edge, it should use these ones. And so what we need is, well, and then I guess the other thing is when there's just an empty block, we define what the default background is, but so what if we delete this region? Do this. So if we have nothing on the left, and we have a block on the right, and then this is the opposite, a block on the left and nothing on the right. So well, the Eldon Pixels guys actually converted everything. The originals are 16 by 9, so we can't really use them. They went ahead and converted the rooms to 4 by 3 to help me out. But that's it's kind of in the air. But yeah, try to get them as close to the original so you can see. If we look at, I can show you. I shouldn't open that one. I should open this one. I want it in a separate instance of tiled. I don't know where my tiled shortcut went when I installed the new update. Map. So here's basically the conversion that they did. And you can see the original. Oh, we lost it when we restarted. This is the original. This is another map they provide, but this is the original 16 by 9. So you can kind of see, like, yeah, just make things a little narrower. But I mean, realistically, we should kind of be able to do whatever we want, really. But yeah. Yeah, I don't, they've got intern helping out. And they're like, here's something to do. Have fun. But Michael's been helping out with a lot of stuff too. He's having fun with it as well. So let's see here. What are we doing? We can go ahead and close this. So here's my idea, right? So we have I'm not 100% sure how this works, but the tile that you use for the region doesn't really matter. Although, anyway, it's not supposed to matter. So, but we can't have this is like the search and replace. So it has to be separated to not conflict. We should make this bigger, but whatever. I think we can modify that later. So the input layer, we're going to look for something. So this is a and this is what we want to output. So that's a right edge of the blocks, and here's a left edge. So to look for nothing and then a blue, and it'll put that. So depending upon which side it'll hit this other match, I think. So that'll be, we'll have right facing blocks on here, and we'll have left ones over here. But let's save this. Control M. Hey, look at that. Sweet. Now, the only thing I'm not sure, I got rid of this region, so I don't think this. All right, take care. Have a good evening. So let's see here. I think these outputs were already here. So what if we erase all that? And if we run, oh, look at that. So it actually, it still sensed a left edge because there was, but we didn't tell it what to do when there's red and then black. But I think this automap, the input is basically saying if there's anything here. Because we actually don't have. So I think that matches to anything. So what if we'll say a 3 meta tiles as the region, and if it matches 3 next to each other, then our output is that you should put a tile there. I think it's actually going to be, well, it'll be right there. I think what it actually wants to be is this. I think that's actually what we want. Let's save that. Sweet. Now, why didn't these hit? Because, oh, because there's nothing, because it's a boundary of the, it can't find one that's over there. Although I do wonder if we define this region, like it just finds when it places it there. It's the wrong thing, but if these ones will override this one, I don't know. It seems to just work. Like, I don't know why these ones override that one. Maybe it tries to find the biggest ones first. That's really what we want. But how do you why is this? That should be there. I don't know why my grid opacity is not. I don't know what's going on there. Whatever. So let's try it. Oh, I'm drawing it on the wrong grid that way. Hey, excellent. How we doing? Watching on my smart 80s color TV tonight. Nice. Very nice. So you've got your SMAT 80s color TV. What is that? Or is it smart? So you got, I'm guessing it's a CRT of some sort. It sounds like a smart CRT. Got me curious. All right. This is where I had the problem. I was drawing on the wrong layer. I want to draw this tile here. There we go. Okay, now we can set a grid. Now that looks right. All right. Power of automap vested in me. Let's see if it works. Save this as is. Control M. Boom. These look wrong. What happened here? I need to draw them like this. There we go. So this is on the right side. Yeah, so it'll look like that. Whoops. Save. Let's try that again. See, it doesn't. Like, Oh, there's some auto map while drawing. It's so small, typing with the fire. Nice. Yeah, so it sounds like I was right. You've got a smart CRT. So you got a fire stick hooked up to a CRT. I like it. What is going on here? Oh. Oh, wait a second. So this is going to be put there. That's wrong. And that's wrong too. So maybe the seam is supposed to be on the bottom. I feel like I keep... So this is supposed to be on the left. So that'll go there. That looks right. And this is supposed to go on the right. So that'll go there. It'll sit there. Yeah, so the seam is always on the bottom, and we got a full brick on the top. So save that. Seam is on the bottom. Yeah. Control M. There, we fixed it. That looks good. So it seems that the auto map, we didn't actually use this one over here. It will, my guess is that it tries to fit the biggest region that it can. So here, that's not what you're supposed to look like. I just want to use, I know the tile doesn't matter for the region, but so here's a region of 2 meta tiles, and here's of 1. So my guess is that it tries to fit this biggest ones. So this is a blue block with nothing, or with anything, not just nothing, anything. Because here it matches, even though we have a red tile here for the vines. Because we don't actually have anything drawn on the input layer. But the region is defined with something. And then, so this region, this larger region fits. So maybe there's some other logic, but it seems that it tries to fit the biggest region. And then outputs to these things. So we can get a little bit of fanciness of these curled edges. Oh, we could also we can make a thing with the vines, right? So right now our vines only have, sorry if this is an inch mark, a kinsmat. Carry on. Nest dev. What's it doing? There we go. Oh, my chat's all messed up. This TV is very intelligent. Well, not only is it smart, I would assume it's CRT. Oops, did I draw them right? I meant to try this. erase those. I do have a hard time remembering which layer I'm on. Okay. So we'll put vines here. Input. One on the left, one on the right. Output to this guy. So when we have a match on the, oh, I can't see it. There we go. And then we have a match on the right. We'll put this one. Save that. And boom. So we got some nice curliness going on there with our vines. And we can get even fancier. We need to make this bigger. How do we edit? Resize. How do you resize a tile set? What are these errors? Oh, look at this. Invalid number of capture. I didn't even realize that this was down here. Some debug on our regular expressions. Map properties. I don't think you can actually surely there's got to be a way like, oh, I want to change my file size, but it seems to be. Let's see what the Googles has to say. I mean, we should be able to copy paste it over to something else. But it's like copying all those layers. We're just time is 10:30. Doesn't seem like something that can change. Editing tile sets. I don't think you can. So what's the easiest way for us to copy this over to a new one? New map. Tile size. 8 by 8. Oh, you can do map size infinite. Tile render order. Write down. So we're going to call this for auto map outside. But it's infinite. So we need a layer regions. Oops, no. I want to select. Spelling hard small. I gotcha. It's small and smart. All right. So region. Rename. Thank you. I had a lot of annoyances with when we put that top. There we go. I've been stumbling with tiled. Largely because of NES limitations of only, you can only effectively have 256 tiles. And, I'm trying to support the Alwa really pushes the tile set to the max, even for certain rooms and stuff like that. And I want to go as, a lot of these things we can get pretty close to doing on the NES, fitting a room within 256 tiles. It gets a little bit wonky here, like this house and this tree and these mountains and clouds and all of this stuff is probably not going to be visible all at the same time. Pushes too far. Uses too many tiles on the same, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't be able to have this house on one screen and then like the fence on another, and like have visually complex tile consuming things. Just pick which one you want to fit on that screen, so that then I'm like, oh, I'll switch out the tile sets. But so much is dependent on the tile set, and so this auto mapping simplifies, or it lets my tile set be more fluid, because you're just drawing with the basic features and then we map those to a tile set, and then if I move the tiles around we just adjust the rules. But let's see, so we need the names of these things are very important. So we have regions for this auto mapping, and then we have input underscore capital auto map. I don't really like that. Layer properties. Lowercase auto map. So we'll have a a new layer, input underscore automap. And this is where we'll put that. So these are the things that we draw with. And then we have tile layer output underscore NES name table. And that is, copy that, maybe. Copy. No, which layer did I have selected? The wrong one. Copy, try again, paste, there we go. So save that, close this guy out, discard. Now this is not amazing, but it's the way it works. So rules.text designates which automap file you're using. And so we put it in the automap folder and we called it auto. See, I don't like that name. Let's just Alright, it's not going to be able to find that. Close this. Automap. We don't need to call everything automap, automap, automap. Alright, try that. Now, Control M. Yeah, I couldn't find it. Regions. I think it's supposed to be regions. Save. Now Control M. Well, I guess it worked. If we're on the NES output, we should build this. Whoops. Select all. Delete it. So there's what we draw. Save. Now Control M. No? Control M. Nope. Input, automap, output, NES name table. Input, automap, output, NES name table. Close this guy. Why isn't it working? There's like two different ones here or something. Oh yes, why? Why did we have this two different tile sets? One of them I don't know why there's two of them. I guess because this is where I have troubles with tile. Why are there multiple things? And why won't you do what I want you to do? Save. Map. Automap. Did it? Does it not like my infinite automap for some reason? Did not like I changed too many things at once. Why do I do this to myself? What is this nonsense? A selection of what I took in the map. Throw it all away. So here's our automap layer. Here's our rules. Open up automap / stop it. Forsaken Valley outside TMX. We got input and we got output. Save it. Control M, nothing. What if we instead stop. Let's just go back to using the other one. What did I call it? Level automap TMX. Okay. Now this one, I changed the names. I just changed that to a lowercase a though. Save. It was all working. Why you no work no more? like does the folder have to have a special name or something? Like, I don't know. Losing my patience. Like, there's no. Is that what it is? The folder has to be called capital A automap? Oh my gosh. But it shouldn't matter. You can put any folder you want. Let's verify. Okay. All right. So we have level automap.tmx. Capital A. Okay, whatever. Close this file. Discard. All right. Control M. All right, it worked. We'll undo it. All right, replace this lowercase a for automap. And I changed this folder to lowercase a automap. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. Control M. Doesn't work. I wonder if there's some problem with I have the folder in the layer named automap. That is ridiculous. Okay. Because you're not even supposed to. Whatever. So capital A automap. Let's try to use this other TMX file I made. Okay, Forsaken Valley outside. It's like these features are there and like it works, but it's when there is some error and it's not working, your indications of what it is that like didn't work is nothing. It's crazy frustrating. Okay. Save this. I didn't mean to quit that, but I did. So it said it couldn't find the file. Did I spell it wrong? Yeah. Forsaken Valley. E. Try that. Okay. I'm really curious how, like, what are the real rules about that? Why was it because I had layers named automap and a folder named automap? Because what am I really going to do here? I'm going to have multiple rooms in here. I'm going to have multiple automap files set up and folders that so I can change my rules file and then change which one is being done. So in that case, really I want the name or whatever to be contained in the folder, and then I can have the TMX file fairly generic. But this one's too small. Delete that guy. May as well have our automap infinite. So Forsaken Valley out 1. Try that. FV. Think it's gonna work? Control M. What's this error here? What does it say? File not found. Automat. See, I wrote this. Clear. That was an old error. Like, it must be able to find it. Otherwise, it gives you an error that it can't find it. So it finds it, but it's not doing the thing. I really I'm like 95% sure that the folder doesn't have to be called automap. That's the whole point of this rules file. but I want to put different auto maps in different file folders. It doesn't. Testing my patience. Close that. Automap 0. Automap 0. Open this file. Oh. See, this TSX file could not be found because I moved the file. Oh, maybe that's why the TSX file couldn't be found. But what's... which is inside this folder that I'm renaming. I think that's the real problem. TSX, open that. Control M. Still no. See, there's probably some file association that's going on. Oh, here. Oh. I drew it using the tileset capital A automap. Is that? What if we change this to Forsaken Valley outside 1? Save it. Forsaken Valley out 1. Maybe that's where the problem is. How? Those 3 things have to match. This, this, and this. The name of the tile set has to match the folder. I don't know. That still didn't work, so don't know why. Save this, close it. Oh, but then that, the tile set, it can't find, locate file. Still doesn't work. Whatever. This is what we got. I don't know why I can't. Close this file. Locate the file. Save it. Control M. See here, this tile set's still called that. That didn't matter apparently. Because that was really just using the file of the PNG for what the name was. I don't know. Maybe it does have to be automap. I don't know. I don't see anywhere where it says the folder has to be called that. But it's like whatever we did the first time, then that's what it needs forever or something. I really don't know. It can find the file because it will. If it can't find the file, then it doesn't work. Oh my gosh, Spotify. I don't have patience for you right now. Let's wrap this up. We made some progress. I only have the patience to learn so much of tiled in one day. And we're at that point. So this is a recap of stream number 47. We set out to make use of auto mapping in tiled, and we did it. Thank you very much. Still have some things that I don't quite get and don't quite like, but that's where we're at. So here's how it works. We've got our input room, and we've got this rules.txt is a text file that says which TMX file do you want to use for a rule. So inside this, we have this automap Forsaken Valley outside TMX file. Here it is. So we have a region, and this is just this automap's basically just a complex search and replace. Now the thing that you're searching needs to be bound by some sort of region, and you can use any tile, but this is the region. So then we have inputs. These are the things that we're going to draw with these tiles here. And these aren't necessarily NES compatible tiles. These are just things that are convenient to draw with Untitled. And then we have an output layer, which is this. Now, if you're trying to implement this yourself, all of these, you're going to have problems getting all of the things to match. There has to be a layer called regions. The input layer has to be called input underscore automap. Happens to be the layer that I'm drawing these things on, these tiles. Then there's an output NES name table. This is the file, output underscore whatever layer you want it to put the results to. That's what we called it. So on this automap, we'll use this tile set, and we can say we're going to have another ladder here. We'll have a platform. Change it so we have ladders to climb up to here. And let's just change our I don't know, something like that. Now, that's what we drew. We can save it. And apparently we changed something here. I don't know. Save this. So we hit Control M. That doesn't work. Oh, maybe I didn't have it visible. There it is. Okay, it did work. I just didn't have it visible. It was less exciting not seeing it, but whatever. It went from this to this. So you can see that we have a little, these edges look like they're rolling over, and that's really what's happening. We're getting a match for these regions, right? So when you have a blue block with anything on this side, because really we're defining the search space, and we're looking for this blue block in anything over here, because there's nothing actually there on the input layer, right? But the region is part of the definition. That's where we're containing our search to. You can't have these things touch, because then that becomes a bigger region. So they have to be separated. To your region defines the bounds that the search has to match. It seems that it tries to match the bigger areas first. We did a similar thing from the blocks as we did with the vines. So now these ones here will wrap around. With the vines, we have our ladders. We drew those, right, with the top pieces, and then the bottom segments. So we can kind of draw things in a 16 on the meta tile layer, but they're not really meta tiles. But I guess to some degree, this is what our meta tiles look like, but they then get translated into more unique tiles. So yeah, we got that working. I for some godforsaken reason, I don't know why can't I see this folder? Where'd it go? Oh, it's here. Why won't Windows bring it to the front? I tried is very hard. I spent about an hour trying to rename this folder automap something else. It doesn't work. I change the rules to match whatever the folder is. It still just doesn't work. I don't know. I don't know. I thought 5 different things might be causing problems. It still finds the folder or finds the file. If I change it to something that's unfindable, it throws an error. Hey, you can't find that thing. Can't find this rule file. But if it can find it, some reason I can't find anywhere in documentation that has to be called automap, capital A automap. I don't know. That happened to be what we started with. I don't know. Mystery that I banged my head on the table for longer than I cared to. But yeah, so there we go. Oh, I guess you look at this. So here it actually like wrapped around because it found a blue block and then anything. Anyway, you can create these rules in the auto. We made our tile map infinite because it was too small before, running out of space for the auto mapping. But yeah, so we got that working. We also tried to have TMX files, world file, like, so this is our world map, and we try to put these rooms into different TMX files because it would seem the way that these file associations work, this rules text file is what it look when you open this room, right? It looks in the same folder for something called rules.txt, and then in there you're supposed to be able to point it to which one to use. For some reason, I have to have that folder name. I could change the file name, but not the folder name. Anyway, I really would like to have different TMX files in the same world use different auto rule files. I can't figure out how to do it because I can't put TMX files of a given world in different folders. I couldn't get my regular expression to work. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so I've got questions on these different things with tile, but whatever. We did get it to work. The way that we will use different auto maps to use different tile sets will be to change the rule file, hopefully. I was hoping to have contained tile sets in their own folders. I'll maybe try again off stream to use a different folder name besides automap. I was pretty sure I saw examples online where they weren't using this. They were just putting it in the regular folder or whatever. Anyway, yeah. So, yeah, we got automap mostly working. And I don't know, next stream, I'm not quite sure. We need to have Forsaken Valley defined using these, but this, I don't know. We'll see. Join in next week, and we'll continue. Hopefully, I won't get too frustrated by tiled again. So thanks for stopping by.